Hi everyone,
Hi,
my name is Collins.
and my name is Millicent, and we are the Nzakalas.
Well, well, you can tell we are just still in the honeymoon. We really want to thank and appreciate Ini for giving us this opportunity to share our story on her YouTube channel. Please subscribe and like, and we are praying and hopeful that you're going to be a blessing. We're going to be an encouragement to someone. Today, we're talking about COVID weddings, and we are privileged to have done our wedding in the peak of COVID in July 18th. I'm still getting it right.
Yeah.
July 18th. I'd like just to share our experiences in terms of preparation, the material day, how it was generally, and finally, probably, we're going to give a word of advice or two, or an encouragement to anyone who is planning a wedding, be it during the same COVID or afterwards. So, karibuni sana. Maybe to start us off, how it was.
The preparation to the wedding during this COVID time. Nobody had foreseen COVID. I'm sure it all caught us by surprise, worldwide and globally, and everything was affected. Getting married during this time was not, let me say, it was not as easy as we thought. First of all, because of the uncertainties, and then the pressure, and also delays that we had experienced prior um, to July 18th. We were quite on track with a number of things. We had already done all the formal introductions that were required. Ilikuwa imebaki kwenda Lumakanda. He's from Eldoret, and so starting off from March, a lot of things had been put on hold. Uh, we had already started having committees to help us fundraise towards the wedding. We were in the middle of a premarital class, which also had to stall. Then there was also a lot of uncertainties with curfew. After every 21 days, there is the review by the government on how to proceed. There was the banning of gatherings, including weddings, burials, and so many other things which also were affected. For our case, we were affected from the initial time when we had made our application to the marriage registrar, which during that period it expired. We had to make a fresh application, which we were not so very sure about it once again because the offices kept on being closed and open, and a lot of communication. But we thank God that we finally were able to get all of that behind us. Of course, it was difficult for both of us psychologically, but we thank God that we found places where we could be able to be talked to and people to pray with us and to walk with us. And we made it through that time, and I believe many of us are making it through this time.
One of the things that goes without saying, um, not only for wedding during this COVID was really a trying time for everyone. Um, Family situation, people losing jobs, uncertainty, cessation of movement, many industries were affected. But irrespective of that, there's hope. We thank God that we're able to find joy, we're able uh, to be able to plan and execute a wedding. I remember when we finally secured the certificate from the AG end of June, um, then we decided let's do this wedding. We actually planned the wedding now for for July 18, which is 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
And because we could not plan before, because it took a while before we secured the certificate. Now, of course, first of all, our service providers, we had to do away with the previous service providers. We had to look for fresh ones. Likely, we have not made a lot of deposits. I think it's only
Yeah, it's only
the,
for the
rece-
venue.
the reception. But the rest, we were just about to secure them when COVID began. So luckily, we had to look for new service providers. We had to do a lot of adjustment in terms of our guest list from 1,200 up
Small,
to
just a small
a
number.
small number of
Yeah.
1,200 to a restricted number of 15. It was difficult. If you put together our siblings and their spouses, they're more than 15. So here we are looking at a wedding where everyone, including is 15. It was some tough choices. Um, the bridal team, we had to do away the bridal team. We just was us and the best couple. Now, while all these may sound like it was on the extreme, one of the most beautiful things really loved about the COVID wedding was it was very intimate, it was very personal. Everyone, it was largely the immediate family that was there and very close friends, maybe one or two, but it was largely immediate family. So there's also a joy in that. There's sufficient time. The nuptials was very short, I think an hour and a half. Then after that, we had a small lunch for everyone. We had cake. I think
Enough cake. People
enough cake.
carried cake.
People carried cake home, and all that. When you look at the other big advantage was cost-wise. I think we ended up spending between 10 and 20% of our initial budget, and we're able to cater for everything. Of course, our friends and family, especially family, came through. They're able to contribute and support us, and we are really grateful to God for them standing with us. So the material day. Mm.
The material day, July 18th, it was quite a shift from the norm that usually happens, where you have the groom side come to the bride side, then they have to sing, then they have to kufungua geti, all of that. Unfortunately, some of those things were not possible as much as we enjoy and we wanted all of that to happen. We had to do away with it because we could not create a scenario where there was a gathering. Otherwise, the neighbors could easily raise an alarm. Hey, there's a gathering going on this place. We didn't want that, and we also did not want to put the host in a lot of trouble. So we had a formal handing over ceremony for the lady. We drove ourselves to church. We everything just like what's happening when you're entering any new building. Lazima upime temperature, you have to sanitize, you have to wash your hands. There was the observance of the 1.5 meters. That means we had just immediate members inside. The program was quite straightforward. The guidelines that have been given by the government are not more than 1 hour. So we had a very short nuptial session. After that, we took some few pictures. Then we had a small luncheon for our guests, those who had come, and we called it a day. Of course, there was a bit of dancing.
Dogo, dogo.
Hallelujah, we
Yes.
mapeka mapeka.
Mapeka. Well, it was lovely. It was a very beautiful day. She was amazing. Seeing her on that gown, uh, that side was
Him too.
breathtaking. Um, it was beautiful. And then, of course, after that, we went for honeymoon. Initially, we had planned to travel, but we had to change plans, and we decided to just to go for honeymoon within Nairobi, because we avoided travel. But apart from the restriction and etc, I think for us we had made up our mind that we wanted to do this, and I thank God that we were able to do it, and it turned out beautifully. And we thank God. He is God and He has been faithful. A piece of advice for anyone who is planning to do a wedding, be it during COVID or after. Right now, the government is saying the
curve is being flattened.
the curve is being flattened.
And they're opening up the economy.
And they're opening up the economy. So whether you're planning to do during COVID or maybe decide to wait, I think the most important thing is make a decision. what you want to do. If you want to do in the current circumstances, be prepared to adapt accordingly. To maybe have to do away with a few things and etc. There is pros and cons for the same. The other alternative is for you to wait. I know a couple who decided to wait for a year until things calm down. So whichever thing will
Whichever
make
way,
the situation, whatever will work for you, but make a decision and that will guide you. But the rest, just leave it to God. And people may not support you as they would before because situations have changed. But work with the resources that you're having, and things will turn out beautifully.
I think also it's also good to really prepare people psychologically, especially family members. When you have to scale down to 100 people, apparently everybody thinks they should be in the 100 people or the 15. You have to be very clear and communicate, engage with your immediate family a lot, talk to your friends, let them understand, given the circumstances that are also there. Uh, um, Pray about it as well. Pray, really, really pray, pray for it. Involve your church, and also stick to some of your convictions and the values that you also hold. And I also want to also let the ladies, usually the day is something that you've dreamed of for since you are a child. Some of those things that we imagine and we also want, given these times and circumstances, it might not be possible, and so you need to probably adjust to that reality,
The new normal.
the new norm. And then also take precautions, follow the guidelines that have been laid down by the government. If the government has said 100 people, please do follow through. I remember one of the biggest worry for us when we were doing our wedding, even with that 15 people coming, is once the economy opened up, they removed the curfews and they allowed the traveling. Our greatest fear is that whoever is coming from Eldoret and the other person coming from Meru, how do we ensure that there is a minimal risk of people being exposed to contracting? So ensure there is that those precautions for individuals to take through and also to follow. And then don't work alone. Also have a small committee, maybe your family members who can also help you out, because it can also be straining psychologically and emotionally, and also physically, especially as the material day approaches. You have to run up and down. Some of those things can easily be delegated, and have people to help you have a checklist of everything that you want, and not forgetting that it's the day is yours, but um, after that there's a whole life ahead of you. And
Yeah, there's so much that we could share, but we hope that what we have shared is would be of help to someone, would be an encouragement to someone. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Ini, for giving us this opportunity. May God bless you so much. And yeah, it's bye from us.
it's bye from us, and we wish you all the best. Remember, marriage is from God, and He's the one who establishes it.
Amen.
We wish you all the best, and thank you.